Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan and this is Rooted Word. Now, we're about to cross over to the new year. I hope you've given thanks to God as an individual, as a family. And I think all of us should give thanks to God for our nation, not just Kenya, for all of you, wherever you're watching me, because there's some people at war. There are some people whose nations are not doing very well right now. So be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for what God has done. Be grateful for the safety that you enjoy. And, if you're having the Christmassy Christmas, be grateful for that your nation even allows you to celebrate the birth of Christ. And because there are some places, that won't. So what are we talking about this week? I think this is a good week to envision. I think this is a good week to ask the Lord, what does He see you do in the coming year? What does the Lord see you achieve? And what does that look like? One thing I learned in 2025, and I really love it because it's just something that I love, is that God obviously is a creative because He created the world, and He's such a creative because look at colors. I love colors. I love colors. All sorts of colors. I like sometimes to be bright and sometimes I like to be a bit low, but I'll always have a color. I just like a touch of color, And I was reviewing the other day and I was like, I love the fact that God has given different things to different people, like doctors. Thank God I'm not a doctor. That wasn't my thing, But I marvel about how they can study the body and all that stuff, especially baby doctors. I don't know how you can inject a baby and just be fine with yourself. That just shocks me, and also kids break their legs sometimes and hands and all that, and there are doctors for children that dentists for kids and all sorts of things, even doctors for animals, vets and all. I'm just so tickled, like it's such a vast variety of things that we get to do, and be and become. But I really like the art side because the art side is just full of color and you just decide. But when it comes to art, or when it comes to creating something, like when you create, the first person who created a pot, I mean, wow, if you create something from scratch, I just think it's so amazing to me. All right, to me. So like if I go and make the person who will teach me to make a pot and I do it myself, as it may not turn out as beautiful or as perfect, but the fact that my hands can create something, wow, it jazzes me to, really, really jazzes me. And so because of that, I can be told something, like you can tell me we're going to go for a trip wherever, to Uganda, to South Africa, to where I will envision, like I will just, I have an active imagination. I think I told you that. And I thank God for that because I just envision. Yes, I may go to YouTube, I may look at pictures, but after that, I'm just there. I can take myself and I'm like, this is me walking down this way. And I can see myself dressed up. I can see myself, all those things and envisioning. And most of the times when I've done that, it kind of comes true. Okay. So I can envision my 2026. There are already some things that I know for sure I have to do in 2026. But just because I know I have to do them doesn't mean I can't envision. In fact, 2026 is going to be such a creative year for me and such a pivot year again. I have to pivot whether I like it or not. I'm entering a new space, a new place of learning and growing because I've never been in where I'm going right now. But the beauty is it has color. It has design. You see this wall at the back here, this funny, I chose that color and I chose those lines because they just, why not? You know, I love green. For those of you, any shade of green, green with anything, green with whatever. So long as there's green there, I love it. And I really love that wall. There's another wall that has so much more color. Because I was like, why not? You know? And the beauty with a wall like this, I can paint it white and do whatever else I want later on. Yeah, I can make a mural. It depends on what I envision. You know what I'm saying? I can get inspired by a picture. I can get inspired by the word of God. I can get inspired by people and places. And then I can come together and say, okay, God, this is my ingredients, and this is what my 2026 looks like. Now, for some people, they don't like vision boards. Fine. But for those of you who are like me, I may not have a vision board up on the wall. But if it's locked in my mind, I kind of have it with me, you know, because I myself envision myself there. I don't mind vision boards personally. I don't mind them. They help with eyesight, you know, keeping your eye on the thing. But one thing I would say is write it down. Write down what you'd like for your 2026, how you see yourself, who is with you. And that's important. Sometimes people, they visualize by themselves. They don't bring their kids along. They don't bring their spouses or friends or whatever along. Envision correctly, you know, full. And then what does that mean? You know, at the end of the day, why would God want you to do what you're doing in 2026? For what purpose? What impact? Who is it going to help apart from you? If it's just only you, yeah. If God gives you a car, let's say you're envisioning this nice, beautiful car, are you just going to be stingy and not give anybody a ride? Because what's the point of just amassing things for yourself if it doesn't involve others? You know, I think that's very important. When you're envisioning, what's the impact for your vision? Who is it impacting? What life is it changing? If it's only changing your own life, I'll say have a conference call with the Lord. Yeah, just have a conference call with the Lord. And also, this is something I used to do before, and then I kind of went off the thing, but envision big. I think for me, Suzanne, sometimes I have limited God, not because he can be limited, because I have limited my expectations, I've limited my vision, I've limited my thoughts, I've limited even my resources. You're looking at this, you're like, okay, I have this and this, but now how? I think for me 2026 is limitless. I kind of want to go back to that big God who just waits for that big request and gives it to you. It reminds me of this guy. Well, he wasn't a nice guy, but Harold the king. And his stepdaughter was dancing. He was high, and he was super happy with her dance. And he said something. Actually, it's so funny. These are kings, eh? Kings. He said, what do you want? Tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you, even if it's up to half of my kingdom. I mean, like, up to half of my kingdom. Okay, the girl went and asked her mother, and the mother wanted the head of John the Baptist. But that was not the point is not that. Let's go back to, and up to half. This is a king. Can you imagine a king asking you that? You know? And I think even Queen Esther was asked at one point, yeah, what is it you want? What is this that you're telling me? Come, let's eat. And then the king is like, listen, Esther, what is it you want? Even if you want this, up to this part of the kingdom, half of it or whatever it is, I'll give it to you. Now, those are human beings. Now, did these ladies ever envision that would be the thing that somebody could say? I don't know. I don't think so. But that's not the point. The point for me is, if a human being can say they can give somebody up to half of a kingdom, how much more God? How much more God, my Father? When the Bible says, ask and it shall be given, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open, he means it. And then he goes ahead and he says, you get more than you could ever ask, think, or imagine. According now, there's a catch there. There's a catch. And I want you to read that catch. According to what? What? Go read it. I'll put it on the screen. But God will say exceedingly, abundantly. God can give you. I think for me, that's what I want to see. Exceedingly, abundantly, more than I could ever ask, think, or imagine. Like, let me tell you. Those who know me, I ask a lot. I ask a lot of questions. I'm always asking, by the way. I ask a lot of questions. I ask a lot of things. I like a lot of nice things. So, exceedingly, abundantly. Not just exceedingly. Do you know what abundant means? It means it's more. It's not even, abundant. It's juicy. It's fruitful. It's yummy. It's all the beautiful things you can think of. Abundantly. More than you can ever ask, think, or imagine. What can you think for 2026? What can you imagine? What can you ask? So I think for me, I want to envision, and but for me, it would be nice to also ask the Lord, like, what do you see for me, Lord, for 2026? And aspire to that, and also to say what I can envision for myself. And I'm not envisioning just for me. I'm envisioning for my community, my peeps. Like, one thing I can't even lie. Next year, I really want to travel. I'm not gonna say where, but I hope to do like two travels, even three travels. I don't say where, but I put them. I want to visit somebody. Yeah boy. Actually, I have to visit a lot of people. So, anywho, so it's abundant. It's exceedingly, because 3 travels, you guys do know, but God is God. I don't want to limit him. I used to just say, one travel. I just want to travel once internationally, or, and then I want to do one domestic, which is good. But now I want to stretch it. And there's a reason as to why I want to go to the places I want to go. But the point being, exceedingly, abundantly, more than I could ever ask, think, or imagine. So I want to just envision my 2026. What does that look like? And then pray over it. So I hope as you celebrate the birth of Christ, just as people waited for that Messiah to be born and to come. And when you read the Bible, you hear the Simon and Anna who are in the church, who were in the temple waiting for this child to be born. They prayed to see this child. They prayed and believed. And then they saw the child. I mean, how much more when you get to see what you're exceedingly abundantly more than you could ever ask, think, and imagine? What kind of testimony will that be? Yeah. So I can't really tell you how to do this, but I'll say do it. Yeah, if you're the person who needs to cut out all those pictures, cut them out. If you're the person who is digital, do it digitally. If you're the person who journals, write it down. And write it now. Don't wait for 2026. And then envision it. And partner with your Father, your Heavenly Father. He's the best partner you could ever have. So that's it for now. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Enjoy with family, enjoy with friends. Christmas is one of my favorite, if not my favorite time of the year. I love Easter. I love Christmas. I love them. And I love my birthday too. So enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.